Good evening and welcome to WZLD Radio, where the strange feels familiar and the unexplained has a home. I'm Lady Zelda, broadcasting from the WZLD studio. Tonight we are taking a journey after dark along forgotten railway lines, lonely highways, and roads where some travelers seem never to reach their destination. Settle in, let the music carry you, and keep your eyes on the road ahead. Tonight's broadcast is called Midnight Journeys. You're listening to WZLD Radio. I'm Lady Zelda, keeping you company with music and stories from the unexplained. There is something strangely haunting about an abandoned railway line. Even after the tracks have rusted and the station has fallen silent, the land seems to remember the sound of the trains that once passed through. Across the world, there are stories of people who claim to have heard locomotives moving along tracks that have not been used in decades. They describe a distant whistle first, then the low rhythmic sound of wheels approaching through the night. Some witnesses say the ground beneath them seemed to tremble. Others have reported seeing a single light moving slowly toward them along the rails. But when the sound finally reaches its loudest point, there is no train, no engine, no passengers. Only darkness and an empty stretch of track. Skeptics may suggest that sound travels unexpectedly at night. A train operating many miles away can sometimes be heard where no train should be. Wind, machinery, and memory may create convincing illusions, yet some stories include details that are harder to dismiss. People have spoken of seeing figures standing on deserted platforms, conductors dressed in clothing from another time, passengers gazing silently through illuminated windows before the entire train disappears. Perhaps these are only legends created around forgotten places, or perhaps certain journeys leave an impression so powerful that under the right conditions they somehow repeat. A train passes through, a whistle sounds, and for one brief moment, the past seems to travel beside us. You're listening to WZLD Radio. Stay with me. Our midnight journey has only just begun. You're listening to WZLD Radio. I'm Lady Zelda. Welcome to the studio. Please like and subscribe. There's more to come. Lonely roads have always attracted strange stories. Perhaps it is because driving at night places us in an unusual space between destinations. We are no longer where we began, but we have not yet arrived. We are simply moving through the darkness. One of the most enduring road legends is the phantom passenger. The details change from place to place, but the story often begins the same way. A driver sees someone standing beside the road. Sometimes it is a young woman in pale clothing. Sometimes it is an older man carrying a small case. Sometimes the figure appears soaked by rain, even when the sky is clear. The driver stops and offers them a ride. The passenger gives an address or quietly asks to be taken home. For several miles, nothing seems unusual. Then the driver glances into the rear-view mirror. The seat is empty. In some versions, the driver continues to the address and is told that the passenger died years earlier on that very road. These stories are usually treated as folklore, and many have clearly been repeated and reshaped over time. But their power does not come from proof. It comes from the possibility that a traveler may remain connected to the final road they ever knew. Perhaps the figure is seeking help. Perhaps they are trying to complete a journey. Or perhaps the story is a reminder that every person we pass on a dark road has a destination, a history, and a mystery of their own. So tonight, should you see someone standing beneath a lonely streetlight, you may wonder whether they are waiting for a ride or returning to a road they never truly left. This is WZLD Radio, where the strange feels familiar and the unexplained has a home. Stress, poor visibility, and memory can make a simple wrong turn feel impossible. Yet, there are accounts in which several people experience the same confusion at once. They remembered the same unusual buildings, the same silence, the same feeling that the road ahead did not belong to the place they had left behind. In folklore, crossroads have long been viewed as unusual places, points where one path meets another and the traveler must choose which direction to follow. Perhaps that symbolism has shaped these stories, or perhaps roads really do carry us through more than distance. Every road connects one place to another, but for a brief moment, we belong to neither. We are suspended between departure and arrival, and perhaps on certain nights, one wrong turn takes us closer to something we were never meant to see. Keep your headlights on, follow the signs, and should the road begin to look unfamiliar, remember exactly where you entered. You're traveling tonight with WZLD Radio. You're listening to WZLD Radio. I'm Lady Zelda, keeping you company with music and stories from the unexplained. You're listening to WZLD Radio. I'm Lady Zelda. Welcome to the studio. Please like and subscribe. There's more to come. Not every mysterious journey takes place on a road or railway. Some are far quieter. There are countless personal stories from people who believe a loved one visited them shortly before or shortly after death. The experience is often simple. Someone awakens and sees a familiar figure standing near the bed. A person hears the voice of a relative calling their name. A traveler feels someone sit beside them, only to learn later that the person they sensed had died at that exact time. These moments are rarely described as frightening. More often, they bring peace. The figure may smile. They may offer a few words of reassurance. Sometimes nothing is said at all. Then the presence fades, and the witness is left with the unmistakable feeling that someone came to say goodbye. Grief and memory can produce vivid experiences, especially during sleep or emotional stress. That may explain many such accounts. But for the person who experiences one, the question is often less important than the comfort it brings. Perhaps love creates its own form of direction. Perhaps those who have shared a life remain connected for one final moment, despite distance or circumstance. A train completes its route. A passenger reaches home. A road finally ends, and a familiar presence crosses the last distance, simply to let someone know that they are not alone. As tonight's journey draws to a close, perhaps that is the thought worth carrying with us. Not every traveler is lost. Some may simply be finding their way back long enough to say farewell. I'm Lady Zelda, and you're listening to WZLD Radio. Stay curious, travel carefully, and keep a light burning for those still making their way home. And now our midnight journey is coming to an end. Tonight, we traveled along forgotten railway lines, lonely highways, unfamiliar road, and those final quiet paths that seem to exist somewhere between memory and mystery. Thank you for spending this time with me and for joining another broadcast from the WZLD studio. Until we meet again, travel carefully, trust your instincts, and remember that not every road reveals where it truly leads. I'm Lady Zelda, and you've been listening to WZLD Radio, where the strange feels familiar and the unexplained has a home. Good night, everyone. Keep the light on and keep the strange alive.